This episode is brought to you by the Arvada Center. The time is 1959. The place is a seedy bar in Philadelphia. The audience is about to witness one of Billie Holiday's last performances, given 4 months before her death. Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill is a stirring one-woman show about Billie Holiday's life, music, and legacy, playing September 26th through November 2nd at the Arvada Center. Get your tickets now at arvadacenter.org. That's arvadacenter.org. This episode is brought to you by Florence Crittenden Services. Florence Crittenden Services is on a mission to educate, prepare, and empower teen moms and their children. Miles for Moms is FloCrit's family-friendly fall fundraiser, a community-run walk and roll that starts and ends on FloCrit's campus and goes around Houston Lake Park. And it's celebrating its 20th anniversary this year on Saturday, October 4th. Registration is $35 and includes a t-shirt. Sign up or donate to support teen families at FloCrit at flocrit.org/events/miles-4-moms. Today on CityCast Denver, how do you capture Denver in a song? Does the Mile High City have a soundtrack? I sat down with Denver Post entertainment reporter John Wenzel and local musicians Wayne Watts and Nello to put together the ultimate playlist that showcases the songs, voices, and feelings that perfectly capture our city. Also, make sure to stick around to the end of this episode for a sponsored segment from our friends at Window Nation. Oh, and just a heads up, there's some explicit language in some of these songs. Today is Wednesday, September 17th. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. John Wenzel, welcome back to CityCast Denver.
Thanks so much for having me.
And joining us for the first time, Nello and Wayne Watts, two local artists right here in Denver. Hey, guys.
Hey, yo, what's up? Happy to be here.
What's good with you? Excited to be here, too.
So we're going to start. Before we get started, let's start with you two. There were two things that happened. John wrote this great list about iconic Colorado songs. And then I saw you guys perform at the Indie Bash, a song all about Colfax. Yep. Can you talk about the impetus for that? How did that song come to be?
Oh, man. We was just kind of talking about it not too long ago, but we actually recorded that song as a part of a commission from the Colorado Symphony. We're doing like cool. A series of youth concerts with them that just ended this year in April. And we were performing with them from about September, October of the year before. But the song was basically based on a theme that they had called Destination Denver. And they wanted us to, through music, take people on a tour.
That's like exactly what Denver. The song does.
Yeah, exactly. So Wayne and I, we got together in what used to be my 400 square foot studio apartment with our homie Cy Rainen, who's a producer. And we literally just squeezed it out in one evening. And we're just thinking about all the places and spaces that we find valuable and dear to the life and the breath of Denver, Colorado. And definitely had to shout out those key places I feel like that are important to all of us, where we all have memories. Welton, Colfax. We just did a show at the Squire Lounge, and I was like telling my folks, like, hey, we're performing at Squire. They're like, oh, I used to go there. Man, we just wanted to kind of show people through that theme what makes Denver and Colorado beautiful. And that's how it came out.
And I think like we was really intentional highlighting Black and brown businesses in it as well too. So being able to utilize the song as marketing for them.
Yeah.
So when we think of like what people in the community do, such as like community keys, is a staple. And like I always refer her page to people coming out of town of like, hey, if you want to find out what Black people are doing in Denver this week, tap in there. Or you start thinking about like Cleo Parker Robinson.
That struck me. She went to my high school, so she always came every year to perform for us. And when you shouted her out, it was just like, yes, she is such a figure in Denver, but in the world, people know her and it all comes back to here.
Yeah, she's iconic. And my daughter goes to her, goes to Cleo Parker Robinson as well, too. So my daughter's like, you shout it out. You know what I'm saying? And they were actually on the bill with us with the symphony. So they went on right before us. So thinking about those, but also thinking about the new legends like DJ Dopewave. It's like 13-year-old.
Yeah. I've seen him DJ. I saw him DJ when he was like 7.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Dopewave.
Shout out DJ Dopewave.
I'm not shouting out his pops. Like I'm shouting out to his pops as well, too. JC with Lawrence and Larimer. But like thinking about those ones. So like when you come into Denver, it's a roadmap for what that looks like. And it was incredible being able to utilize that platform with the symphony and with Nello to really drive home the point of how beautiful Denver is.
Let me take you on a trip where the culture is rich. Wasn't no silver spoons, but look what we did. I feel the ancestors speak when we walk down the street. The first stop off the train when our people was free. I'm on Welton, I'm on Colfax. I take a detour and then I go back to the urban sanctuary where the hope at. It's the picture of the city and we giving you a Kodak. It's the Mile High City, take a trip, RTD. It's the Mile High City.
Well, let's get started. So I asked you all to come up with some songs that are either about Denver or speak to Denver or embody Denver in some way. Let's start with one of your picks. Do you want to tell us what it is, and then Olivia can play a little clip of it?
Sure. So my first pick is just called Denver by Willie Nelson. And it's off his iconic album, The Red-Headed Stranger from 1975.
All right, let's hear a little bit of it.
The bright lights of Denver are shining like diamonds, like 10,000 jewels in the sky. And it's nobody's business where you're going or where you come from, and you're judged by the look in your eye.
Okay, so we get the vibe, we get the gist. Why did you pick this song, John?
Well, first of all, just to put it in context, the article I wrote is about iconic songs.
Yes, about Colorado, but this one speaks directly to Denver.
Yeah, and we all know that you don't want to overuse that term. What is iconic? So, unfortunately, there's not a lot of diversity in iconic songs about Denver. There's a ton of songs about Colorado, but they tend to be folky, bluesy, white dudes with guitars type stuff. But if you're talking favorite or something, that's a different thing. So this is both. Like, I love this song. I played it at someone's wedding in the high country once on guitar. It was very sweet. But it also just kind of talks about, Denver as like this dusty, short and sweet kind of visit place. A lot of, touring musicians who came through here wrote about Denver as kind of a maybe not the best place, but also a really interesting place. And some people praise it, but this just sums it up. It's romantic. It's sweet. It's just about the redheaded stranger finding love in Denver.
I also feel like it's like, oh, Willie Nelson chose us. That's
right. Yeah.
That's kind of like, that's an honor to have.
Who doesn't like Willie Nelson?
Yeah. And he's also like an OG. It's like, there's so much after him that is an iteration of what he is, but he's the first to ever do it in a lot of senses. I love that. Now let's go with one of your picks.
Cool. Okay. Let's start with, it's a song by an artist named Malcolm Wise. It's called The Box.
The Box. Okay.
Yeah, let me take you to the box. I got love for the city. I got love for the city. Hey, I can take you to the box. I got love for the city. I got love for the city. Hey, let me take you to the box. Hey, to the box, to the box. To the box, to the box. Yeah, I can take you to the box. Hey, to the box, to the box. Yeah, to the box, to the box. Now I can tell you where I've been. I can tell you where I've gone. But don't nothing compare to home. I'm just keeping it real. Jokic got the keys to the city, but Chauncey's still the king of the hill. We don't do it for the...
Okay, why'd you pick this song?
Hey, well, I feel like there's like this... Oftentimes there's conversation about Denver, Colorado that doesn't show love to the city. People... I feel like, at least when I'm scrolling TikTok, sometimes I just will randomly see like random Denver hate.
Yes.
It's just like, all right, I always just immediately think those people really haven't ascertained or figured out how to maneuver the city or to see what's beautiful. And I really appreciate this song by Malcolm Wise. He's a local artist here in Denver, Colorado, who's constantly speaking good things about the city and the state. And, you know, Colorado is referred to or nicknamed the box state. So this song is like another song that just kind of walks through the different things that are beautiful about Colorado. He shouts out communities like Montbello, but then also reminds us of the Denver Nugget history when at one point we had Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony.
I know, like, lest
Hall of
anyone
Famer,
forget.
Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying?
Carmelo.
So the song is just like, I feel like it's a response to all that hate that sometimes Denver, Colorado gets that's unwarranted and really just uplifts. And it's dope that it's coming from a newer up and coming local artist in Colorado, because it speaks to the fact that, like, you know, artists, we have to tell the story.
Yeah.
We're like historians in a way. And so it's just refreshing to see that there are newer artists who are taking on that role and preserving the city's history and making it fun. That's a bop. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, I want to listen to more of that song, because I feel you, like, scrolling through Instagram too. I'm just like, there are a lot of people that don't like it here, and it's maybe just because they didn't stop and take a moment to think about it and look at it or process it as an artist does.
Yeah.
Wayne, what's your song?
My song is Elevate by Kid Astronaut.
Okay. Oh, Kid Astronaut. Yay.
I think I manifested this. I got high and thought about my existence. We're not born to be complacent. No, said we are born to glow. Yeah. I think about my place on earth. Yeah.
Oh, that was lovely. John, I'm sure you've written about John Shockness's work. He's been in Denver forever. He had a great band many, many years ago called Air Dubai as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, yeah.
So why this song?
I picked it because, like, it embodied, like, when you talked about, like, processing the city, it embodied, like, what it's like to soak in everything. Like, I got high and questioning my existence. It's talking about elevating, but it's like the mind state of being in a place where if you get a breath and you look around you, you have this space to soak in nature and soak in what you're thinking about, and it's the affirmations in it. And I learned really, like, I'm a transplant, so I come from Baltimore, and I remember, like, when I heard this when I first moved here, I was like, yo, who is this? This is fire. And I heard about Eric DeBosch, shout out to them. I got a privilege to work with him a bunch of times and stuff like that on different things. But I wanted to also honor R&B, because I think, like, Denver has a historic R&B from Earth, Wind, and Fire or jazz with Diane Reeves and all of that part of it. But I wanted to think, like, melodically, what does Denver sound like? And to me, like, when I heard this, it sounded like this is what it feels like when things are going well and you're walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? So
I love that. I think you could listen to this song and walk down the street and look around, or you could be on a hike and hear this song and think about what you're looking at, which is like a very Colorado experience, but no better music than our own to enjoy when we're doing that. You brought up Earth, Wind, and Fire, and now I'm like, shoot, I didn't pick a single Earth, Wind, and Fire song, but they are such a sound of Denver.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, we did.
So
Just
the reason why, like, I mean, I had them, but, like, I feel like in mind what I wanted to do was, like, highlight the legends that people don't know right now for me. Like, I think of, like, New Era, New Legends is the saying that I say a lot. So, like, I was like, who are the legends that, shout out to Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, they're iconic, you know what I'm saying?
They are iconic,
like,
yeah.
all the way through, but I want to let new people in there.
Yeah. Well, a song I chose is by, it's a Chicano hip hop group from the 90s, actually called Pure Devotion, and the song is called When I Roll.
Let's get back to the subject, that's a ticket. You know what's up? Kick it.
Mobbing down the strip with a drop top down. Federal Boulevard is where the hard rides roll around. My bass is really pounding as I'm rounding up the click. I'm not sweating shit, I got a full clip. A pocket full of lead with the attitude like go ahead. Unless murder's necessary, I get it heads instead. But anyway, back to the point. I arrived at La Alma with a fat ass joint. My boy said...
So when we started talking about this assignment, I am a born and raised Denverite by luck. You know, geography, we don't choose it. But a huge and integral part of my growing up was cruising. And we didn't necessarily, they sing about cruising federal in this song, which is historically where cruising happens. We were more in my high school days, like we were racing on Spear, or we were downtown, or we were on Colfax. But what I love about this song is it encapsulates something that was vilified for a long time here in Denver, especially when this song came out in the mid 90s, that it was like illegal to cruise essentially. And it's become a thing that folks in the car club community and beyond have been able to elevate, and the city now respects. I mean, we have a holiday for it. We have a cruising holiday, which is amazing. And so when I think about songs that resonate with me about my city, it's something that I want to listen to when I'm driving. And this was just one of those songs. And I'm such a, I was in high school in the mid 90s. That's where my heart is really when it comes to what music really moves me. And so I don't know these guys. I would love if anyone knows more about Pure Devotion to like write in and let us know. I could barely find anything. I have a friend that used to dance like with them at car shows, but like there wasn't even any like Westward articles about them, which was crazy. So if anyone knows the history, and I have seen that one of the MCs, Kid G, is still performing like as of this last month. So I would just love to know more if anybody knows more about this group, because they really encapsulate what Denver is to me. So
yeah, I was just going to ask if you had that on CD or something, or like how you.
I had seen a lot of my friends referencing them when we're talking about like just on Instagram. They would pop up every once in a while, and then I searched and I was like, how did I never hear this song? Because this is absolutely something we would have cruised to as teenagers, and the fact that they're from Denver and they talk about the street that's a block away from me right now, like that's Denver to me. Car culture is Denver to me.
I love that you asked if it was on CD.
Which totally is. I'm sure
Napster,
LimeWire,
MySpace Music,
DC++.
Somebody gave me a CD with like it's a collab tape between Northern California Oakland artist and Denver, Colorado, and it's got a lot of big. Pretty sure E40's on there.
I was like E40.
Yeah. Nice. Somebody I played basketball with, but he was like, "Yeah, man, I used to manage these artists back in the day. I think it was the early 2000s, 90s. That's back in the day now." So I
have said Oakland is like where my heart also is. It's like Mac Dre, like E40, like you said, D-Lo, like I love. That's like that feels. I need to.
I'm gonna get
you just
CD.
need to send this to me. This episode is brought to you by the Denver Botanic Gardens, Chatfield Farms. Fall is almost here, and the corn maze at Chatfield Farms opens September 19th, running Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. This 7-acre corn maze features a Birds of Prey theme and a 15-foot tall bridge where you can view the action from above. I did not know the joy of a corn maze until I took Montgomery and Juniper last year to the corn maze, so I think they're going to be so stoked for the corn maze. Also, seeing them from above is like the cutest thing I've ever thought of. Seeing Juniper's little ponytail just wandering through. There's also a mini maze available for kids under 10, and barrel train rides for kiddos are included in your ticket. Plus, on Saturday, September 20th, kick off the fall season at Hop Festival, Chatfield Farms' very own beer fest. Hop Festival is an add-on to your corn maze ticket on September 20th. Tickets must be purchased in advance at botanicgardens.org. For tickets and more information, visit botanicgardens.org. This episode is brought to you by Denver Health. When someone you love brings home a new baby, what might feel like a small gesture from you can mean the world to the parents. Denver Health, in partnership with Family Connects, offers free in-home nurse visits for parents of new babies born at Denver Health. It's just one more way Denver Health shows up for families when they need it most. When I had Montgomery, tried to stay in the hospital for as long as humanly possible because I was afraid to go home with the baby by myself and my husband. And then finally Greg was like, we've been here for like 5 days. Like, we should probably go home. For more information, visit denverhealth.org/familyconnects. That's denverhealth.org/familyconnects. I was terrified to go home because you're like being sent home with the hardest job you've ever had and you don't have any experience doing it. Denver Health is with you for life's journey. This episode is brought to you by Window Nation. It's September, cooler weather's on the way, and if your windows are drafty or leaky, now's the time to act. Replace your old or builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. Window Nation measures 3 times to ensure your windows fit perfectly and keep you and your home comfortable year-round. Oh, my kitchen window that my husband actually accidentally broke one of the panes out while installing a new electrical panel on the back of the house. That's a story for another day, but the window still needs to be replaced because cooking without being able to open your windows is not fun. Plus, put 0 down, make 0 payments, and pay 0 interest for 2 years. That's right, you could pay nothing until 2027. Hurry, the Buy 2 Windows Get 2 free sale ends September 30th. Don't miss out. This is Window Nation's most popular deal. Schedule a fast, free estimate now with Window Nation at windownation.com. That's windownation.com. All right, John, what's your next track?
Well, I got to say, I'm glad you guys are all bringing the like hyper local, maybe even a little underground, because, you know, as like I said, the iconic thing, maybe I took that a little too seriously. But,
No, it's a good mix. It's a good
stuff
mix.
that people would know, you know, outside of Denver,
Yeah.
that's positive about Denver. Because like I said, there's been some stuff that's happened here over the years. Like Bob Seger wrote about getting the hell out of here after the cops were chasing him. DJ Quick, there was someone threw a bottle and he got blamed for it at a show back in the day and he got arrested. So he was like, you know, wrote a song about not
How
going
much
back
Denver
to Denver.
sucks. Yeah.
So one of the better known ones, and I don't even love this song. It's honestly just well known, although it's not a bad song, is Warren Zevon's Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
I called up my friend Leroy on the phone. I said, buddy, I'm afraid to be alone. 'Cause I got some weird ideas in my head about things to do in Denver when you're dead.
So, okay, other than the obviousness of this song, why did you pick this song?
Well, I picked it because, you know, there's the song's from 91, I believe, and there's a 1995 movie called Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead starring Christopher Walken, you know, Doc Brown from Back to the Future, Andy Garcia, like kind of a lot of ringers. It was a post-Tarantino ripoff, kind of showing Denver as this like mob city. There was stuff filmed on, you know, all over town.
Yeah.
It's really one of the only movies ever made specifically
I was going to
about
say,
Denver.
we've tried to like do that as a roundup and there's just not enough movies about Denver.
There's not, because we
or
just
featuring us.
Yeah, and that's a whole other topic about film incentives and stuff and, you know, film culture here. But, you know, again, this is not a very interesting song. It's not hip hop. It's not jazz. It's not rock and Espanol, which we all have great representation of here. But, you know, I just think it's well known. I think if someone outside of Denver heard this, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm familiar with that phrase or whatever. So, you know, the movie itself is not that great. The song itself is good enough, you know, if you like Warren Zevon. But I just had to put it on there because I think it is somewhat representative. That sound, that 90s sound, you know, Before the Fray, Nathaniel Rateliff, you know, all these folks. We were known for Big Head Todd and the Monsters. And that's kind of that ilk a little bit, that 90s singer-songwriter, vaguely alt-rock, guitar-driven stuff. So, yeah, that's why I chose that.
I didn't pick any Big Head Todd songs either, but they're like, I respect to them. They're the greatest bar band of all time to me. They sound like a bar band, but I love that. No, I love that. And now I want to watch that movie, even if it's a Tarantino ripoff.
It's not that good. But there's a scene, you know, the North Side had, now Highland neighborhood had a legit, you know, decades long Italian, deep Italian culture. Also, not to be stereotypical, but legit, it had a history of, you know, mob activity and stuff. And that's interesting, but I think it's set in 5 points. There's a scene where they're sitting around talking about mob stuff and it's all mobby, but it's in 5 points. And I'm like, that's not really the history of that neighborhood, but whatever.
Nello, what's your song?
So my song, I'm sure everybody is familiar with it. Just go ahead and introduce it. I'm going to do Flowbots, Handlebars.
All right.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars, no handlebars, no handlebars. I can ride my bike with no handlebars, no handlebars, no handlebars.
Look
look at me, hands in the air like it's good to be alive. And I'm a famous rapper, even when the paths are all crooked D. I could show you how to.
Yeah, you're right. If you don't know this song by now, but why did you choose this song?
Man, right before we were talking about how I was part of a desegregation program when I was younger, but that's when I lived in St. Louis. And so about 15 years ago, I moved to Denver, Colorado. So before I ever moved here, I used to go on the bus stop in the morning. I get up at like 5:30. I didn't want to listen to like anything too heavy because I was just waking up.
Yeah.
This song would be the song that I would play all the time. So personally, it's a full circle song, not knowing that I would end up being a part of like the Denver, Colorado music scene. This was a song that was like one of my favorite songs and that introduced me to Denver, Colorado before ever actually coming here, which goes to speak about, I think the Flowbots kind of set the precedent for like how far you could take this music thing in Denver, Colorado. And then also I really respect the ways in which they give back and the work that they've done through organizations like Youth on Record and so forth. And so I think for me, this, everybody here at the table knows the song. I feel like it's just a cornerstone song. They also just put out like this greatest rappers in Colorado history list. And I'm pretty sure Flowbots was like #1 on there.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it also just goes to show like, like the longevity of like in artistry, we're like, now we have to like constantly squeeze out songs or whatever. Here's this group who had this one song, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do
That
something
went platinum.
that
too,
went
yeah.
platinum, do something so incredible for the music scene.
It really put us on the map in a way.
Yeah.
In a really interesting, cool way that we hadn't been seen in that light before.
Yeah. And also I love it too because it's like it's an ambiguous rap song kind of. Like it sounds like rap, but it's not like the typical, which also speaks to like Colorado's music scene, which I've been talking about a lot lately too. There really is no like central sound or niche sound but that's what makes it beautiful because you can like go anywhere and hear anything and you look for it to sound good, not for if it's gonna move me in a club or if it's like, is it good music? So
if you don't mind me jumping in, I just wanted to praise that choice also because they were formative for me when I moved here after college in the year 2000. They're one of the first musicians I saw in town going to, warehouse parties at Buntport or New Year's Eve or whatever. They were, rapping over the Mario theme song, like before that was a thing. And it's just like that song's so inspiring and it set a precedent because few other people have reached those heights in terms of whatever. And, they continue to do stuff like collaborate with Wonderbound, the dance company.
Yeah, they're still very locally rooted.
Totally. And I see that through line with you guys collaborating with Colorado Symphony and all these other high level organizations locally. And it's just, I don't know. I just want to say that song is so meaningful to so many people and it's kind of a locus of like a family tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I went to high school with Stefan from the Flowbots.
Hey.
It's always been the same, just very grounded and rooted, and that comes through in that song. And like you said, they really have continued community work. Youth on Record originally began as flowbots.org. So they were really at the beginning of that, him and Jamie. And I don't know how I forgot about them in this moment, but I'm so glad you brought this song because it is that time when people started to see us in a different way.
Yeah.
See how diverse Colorado's music scene really is.
I'm curious, what high school did you go to?
I went to George Washington
High
school.
I was going to say, you got some heavy hitters at your high school.
I went to school with Rodney and Chauncey Billups, too.
Shout out to Stick. Yeah, I used to work over at George. Yeah. Shout out to Coach O. Shout out to all of them, man.
Yeah, that was my neighborhood where I grew up. So, okay, Wayne, what do you got?
Man, I got the legendary Asha Renee, Too Late.
And I'll forever be. Why they talking about me like they ahead of me? All this hate, I get it, you a fan of me. All these L's that I took, it made a better me. I'm a giant big dog. I'm so happy that they put me in this booth. I better get off, I might act a fool. I can't lie, I got a couple loose screws. I'm a genius like Phineas.
So everybody knows me. That knows me, you feel me, knows my motto is, I said again, new era, new legend. So I'm really intentional in being able to call iconic songs before they happen so that when you come back, pen this 5 years later, you'd be like, oh, he said that right here. So I'm saying. So I just want to shout out the incredibleness that is Asha Renee. She's Miss Black Colorado currently. She's the next up performing for the Colorado Symphony coming up. She put a phenomenal Tiny Desk out this year.
Wow.
That got highlighted, didn't make it, but got highlighted in there. And she has a rap club over at Manual. So like, just in the community, from the community. And when I hear Asha and hearing her rap, she embodies what Denver sounds like to me. And then also want to represent Black women within this space. I mean, I think about like a person I didn't put on here, but shout out to them, NDIRE, really paving the way in terms of like music within a space. And then thinking about like being able to speak on how dope you are as a Black woman within the city. Asha really does that. And so much so that like this, a couple of weeks ago, if you're presently where I'm at, you feel me? But in the past, wherever you at, you know what I'm saying? Rhapsody came in. MC Light has this thing called Passing the Crown. And it's basically passing the crown to like amazingly dope people. And it's all women run synth, like orchestra, dances, all those different type of ones. Rhapsody came at Levitt Pavilion and performed at this one. But Asha was along with her. Shout out to J Trip. Shout out to She Won't Be Named. Shout out to Brianna Aye. But they represented what the crown being passed to within the city. So I wanted to make sure I was highlighting the legend.
I love that. And I appreciate that you're bringing this to us to say, hey, keep paying attention to this person because she's got big things. I mean, she's already done big things, but I love seeing that in them being able to say, like, I was in this moment when this person was coming up.
Shout out Asha.
That's a great one. Okay. I'm gonna go with Bud Bronson and the Good Timers, Denver Rock City.
They're like, dude, no worries, bro, we ain't got pizza. Like back in Jersey, yeah, you don't gotta wait for church on Sunday. Just give it up, say a prayer to the Almighty John Elway. Yeah, baby, let's give it up for John Elway.
Okay, so what I love about this song, obviously, he's like shouting out John Elway. Probably the biggest, he's the biggest sports player we will ever see. I mean, Jokic is getting there, but this is what people know Denver for, and it's what people have known Denver for a long time. But what I love about this song is this is a really great ode to the city from the viewpoint of a newcomer. These guys came from Jersey. They just kind of like fell right into the scene. They've been playing around for probably 15 years. Sweet, nice dudes. They really embody the South Broadway rock and roll era of the last 20 years that I really love. But it just is a really sweet song from someone coming here and seeing what they knew about it and then what they learned to love about it. And it is like, I don't know, I had to give a little South Broadway love at some point. And I also do want to give a shout out. Our theme song is by Los Mocochetes, which are a local Chicano rock band here in Denver that tell the story of Denver's history through their music. And our theme song, Que Viva Revolucion, is about the Chicano uprising here in Denver and the West High walkouts and everything that happened around that. So if you actually listen to our theme song, you don't get any of the lyrics. But if you like take a listen, I'll put a link in the show notes. Listen to that song. But I just want to give them a shout out.
I need to hear that.
You guys, I just like feel so fulfilled. I just feel so much Denver love right now. This is really fun. Thank you, John, Nello, and Wayne for joining me.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Absolutely, yeah. Always enjoy it.
Que viva revolución, que viva revolución, que viva toda mi gente y que viva nuestra canción. Que viva revolución, que viva revolución, que viva los mocochetes porque toca bien chingón.
We've got one last thing for you today. It's a sponsored interview with Ryan Quinnell, sales manager for Window Nation. Hey, Bree Davies here with Ryan Quinnell, sales manager of Window Nation. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, how are you?
Great. We're going to talk about everything to do with windows, which is something that Denverites definitely think about, especially when we're thinking about our weather. So Denver weather throws us everything from blazing sun to heavy snow. I wonder, how are they designed to deal with any kind of climate like that?
Yeah, Denver's climate it's definitely unique. And it requires us to have products that meet conditions of the market, obviously. And so we're the third largest window installer in the country, the largest non-franchise, and a partridge in a pear tree. But really realistically, we operate in 52 different markets and have 52 window models, but we only have 5 that we sell or utilize in Denver just because of the unique market demands. We utilize a product called titanium dioxide. It's infamous for being in a sunscreen, like on my bald head. So it protects the frames against the harsh like UV conditions we get. We test our windows up to 150 mile per hour winds. We utilize a lot of cutting edge technology with a focus on energy efficiency.
Do the windows need any sort of special protection when I'm thinking about something like we get these late spring hailstorms here in Denver?
Yeah, I just smashed my car. He's a victim, so guilty. I got a name for the car. It's a he. That's what we run with. But no, with the utilization, we do offer a free lifetime warranty on everything. And that doesn't mean limited. It's literally full. And based around the install methodologies that we use, the trim coils, like I said, everything's tested up to 150 mile an hour winds, kind of your level 3 hurricane type of things we can make it through. If we're past that point, we probably have bigger concerns. But no, we want to make sure that you feel protected, feel secured, and have a product that's going to stand the test of time, supported with our warranty as well.
Let's talk about aesthetics. So, like, I have a 1938 bungalow, and I know folks like me, style matters to homeowners here, whether it is an old home or a new build. I wonder, what kind of options do you offer for Denver residents who can match both our budget and the way it looks?
Sometimes I get asked that. I feel like Oprah, like, you got a car, you got a car, you get a window, you get a window. And the reality is that every home and every homeowner is unique. We all have different wants or needs or demands of what we're looking for. So all of our windows are custom made. So kind of the cheesy way of saying it is your windows don't have to fit our home, or your home doesn't have to fit our windows, if I could say that right. Our windows are made to fit your home. So we got a ton of styles. We got a myriad of color options we can offer. You have everything from, like you said, like your historic homes to your newer builds, right? Stucco and brick and siding and things. So really, we have everything from a single hung, a double hung, to a slider, to a bay, to a bow, to as crazy as a pentagon or hexagon shape is. We got doors, sliding glass doors. We got windows. See, now I'm back to the Oprah thing. So, but we got a lot of options. As I'll say, a myriad of options.
So let's talk about Window Nation as a business. You all partner with the Wounded Warrior Project. Why is it important for your company to connect with this particular cause?
Window Nation, we really attribute some of our growth to just, we want to be part of the communities that we serve more than just trying to improve homes, right? And partnering with the Wounded Warrior Project, it's really deeply meaningful to us because it allows us to give back to the men and women who have, sacrificed so much for our country. Many of our customers, frankly, a lion's share of our employees, and their families have direct ties to the military. So being able to support veterans as they transition back into civilian life, it just really aligns with our values.
So Window Nation is vetted here in Denver by Dave Logan, who many of our listeners may recognize. Can you explain who that is for folks who may not know him and why you wanted to work with him?
He's not just like a former Bronco, as a lot of people think of him, or just a broadcaster they think of him, the man of all trades, right? So world famous locally, and but he's really known across the city for carefully vetting and then endorsing the local home improvement companies. When Dave puts his name behind a business, people know it's been thoroughly evaluated and for quality and integrity. The credibility of that, it carries a lot of weight in Denver, is our opinion. And for us here, being vetted by Dave Logan means homeowners can hopefully feel confident that choosing us, knowing we've met the high standards he's built a reputation on, we'll invoke some of that trust and confidence in us to work on, frankly, what for most people is their most important asset or, biggest investment of their home. And that means a lot.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for being here. This was wonderful. Everybody, you can check out windownation.com to schedule a consultation now. We will have a link to that in the show notes as well. Thank you all for listening. And Ryan, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Just can't hide it. I appreciate your time.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell India Irie about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our morning newsletter and learn more about us at denver.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See ya!
Apologies if there's an ad.
That's my bad for sending
You gotta keep that in. That's
I
hilarious.
sent only YouTube links. It's fine.